we're going to take a look at how you can sign up for a free account on educationsubs.com if you're a substitute teacher. When you get to the home page, in this middle box, there's some benefits that you can read that every substitute teacher gets when they sign up for a free account on the site. At the bottom of that box, you'll see a Create an Account button. I'm going to go ahead and click on that button. That takes me to this substitute teacher registration page. And here we're going to have to fill in a couple pieces of information. The first thing is our username. And the username is the name that you're going to use to log into the site. So pick something that you can remember. I'm going to use this generic test teacher. Then the email address. And the email address is going to be used for contacting you about any jobs that a district posts that you might be interested in. So make sure you pick an email address that you check fairly frequently. Put in mine here. Then underneath that, we need some biographical information, like first name and last name and your phone number. And beneath that, the mobile phone is optional, but if you want them to be able to contact you on your mobile phone, you can go ahead and put that in. If you only carry a mobile phone, you can also put that in just the phone field as well. Beneath mobile phone is a field where you can upload your resume, and this also is optional. So you can feel free to upload any type of resume that you have. If it's in a Word document or a text file or a PDF, you can just browse for it on your computer and go ahead and upload that. I'm not going to do that right now. Beneath that is the folder or license number, and this is for districts who will be able to do a quick check if you really do have your substitute license, or if you're a licensed teacher, you can enter in your folder or license number here. Now this is also optional, but you can enter it in. I'm just going to put in a false number at the moment. And then beneath that there is teaching preferences. And the first preference is grade level preference. And we have a couple of different options here. The first option is no preference. Basically, you'll substitute at any level. So if that's how you feel, you can go ahead and choose that. However, if you do have a preference, you can just select the preference that you want. Let's say you're only interested in substitute teaching elementary age students. So you could click elementary. And you could add any or all options over to the selected options. But like I said, a quick way is if you don't mind whichever one you want, you can just click the no preference and add that. Then underneath grade level preference, there are areas of teaching comfort or interest. And this allows you to select areas that you feel real comfortable teaching in. It doesn't mean that you won't substitute in other areas, but it's if a district or a principal is looking for a particular subject area for maybe a long-term substitute or some type of temporary position, and they really want that person to be knowledgeable in the area. You can indicate that here and say, you know what, I really am comfortable in teaching English and mathematics, and so I really want to make sure that is denoted on my profile. So you could select those two options. Underneath that particular option is the short notice preference. And what this does is this allows a district to know if you're available on short notice. So if they're scrambling trying to find a substitute teacher for that day or for the very next day, you can indicate to them whether yes, you would like to be able to take that job even if it's less than 24 hours, or no, you'd really like to have more time ahead to plan than they might be able to give you. So there's two types of preferences here. Yes, call me anytime, which is the default, or I prefer at least 1 day notice, so please don't call me with day of substitute jobs. And so if you're free and flexible, I recommend saying the yes anytime. If you like a little more upfront notice, choose to prefer at least 1 day notice. Then underneath that, there is the teacher address information. And this is really important because this is what makes it basically match so districts know what teachers are close to them. So you need to put in accurate address information. This address information is not released to the district, so they don't know your house number or your apartment number. All they know is basically the area that you're coming from. So basically a zip code area or a town area. So for example, I'm going to enter in my address. And when I have that all entered in, I'm going to go down and quickly look through the terms of use and check agree with these terms. And then I'm going to go ahead and click the create new account button. And you'll notice it now gives me a message saying your password and further instructions have been sent to my email address. So I'm going to switch over and look at my email. And you'll see here that I have an email from Education Subs that says account details for test teacher. And here's a quick little message that came into my email saying, thank you for registering at Education Subs. I'm now able to log in with this username and password. And once I log in, I will be able to change my username and password. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. I'm going to copy actually out my password. Test teacher's my username. And here's my password. And it takes me to my account page. And from here, I can go ahead and see all my teacher information. First name, last name, phone number, mobile phone, license number, my teaching preferences, my address. Like I said, only the city, state, and zip are revealed. And then down below is the availability calendar. And I'll show a little bit more about that in another video. But it basically shows what days you're available and what days you're not. The newsletters that I'm subscribed to, and then my history. And if I wanted to edit any of these things, I could go ahead and click on the edit button. And I could go in and edit my email address, my password. I'm going to change my password from the one that was generated. And there's a couple settings here that you could choose. For example, if you didn't want to receive HTML emails, you could only receive plain text. You could check that. If you wanted to upload a picture of yourself so districts know what you look like, which I'd actually recommend doing, you could upload a picture of yourself here. And then there's some messaging settings, which I would, unless you know kind of what you're doing, I would leave the default as web. Go ahead and click save. And so I just set up my account on Education Subs.